everybody. How are you? I'm Melinda. She
I'm
is.
Kelsey.
And welcome to Collard Greens and
Like it's a
Sushi
sushi.
podcast. We hope you
Yes.
all are doing well. Happy Black History Month.
Yes.
It's been going on. And yeah, I hope you guys have had a good week. Kelsey, how has your week been? Or this past week, rather?
Yeah, it was really great. Nothing particularly exciting. We went to Kabuki. We enjoyed
Yes.
that.
Okay, so please tell us, because I know you was
Oh,
talking about your knees. Please explain, because me and the kids are going to do it in March. So I need to know if I need to actually upgrade the seating. So,
yeah, so the long to short of it is you just gonna suffer because
okay,
this was not at Kabuki-za. It was at the Shimbashi Imbujo, which is
okay,
like right behind there. It's like their other theater, their like side theater.
okay,
Um, it was great. I mean, this is supposedly actually has more space
okay.
than Kabuki-za, but take with that what you will because my knees were still like, I turned and twisted. If you have, and it's not even like the width of the seat is completely fine. It's just your knees, the
Knees.
space in front.
Mhm.
So I would say pick a seat that's closer in the front if you can.
Okay.
I had initially called to switch our seating. From what I had read on the internet, like if you pick like, seating kind of close to the handicap area, it might have a little bit more leg room.
Mhm.
And then when we got there, the lady was like, "Oh no, you have the best leg room for where you are. Like I
Wow.
wouldn't switch." She was like, "I would not switch." So it
Okay.
worked out. It was exciting. It was interesting. We saw lots of, very, very, very rich people because it was in Ginza,
Mm.
very close to Itoya
Okay.
because we
Oh,
were we
okay.
remembered that area. We were like, "Oh, we were here for Messiah." Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But it was great. It was really wonderful. I think we were the only black people in there. We
Okay.
might have been the only no, there was a couple foreigners there. Shore survived all 4 hours. I was very impressed. She
Wow.
only she
Wow, it was
only
4 hours?
yes, so you get some intermission. So we had I think the first break was like 20 minutes. The first story was, let me tell you, they had this person, two people that were a horse. We are still
Okay.
trying to figure out how they were the horse because you
Doing
see the
it.
legs and they're
Right.
walking like taka, 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 their legs, and you can see the front head of the horse is obviously someone's head, so they're bent over. But we're like, who's the back part? And
Right.
is their face in someone's butt? Like we had many questions, and it looked just like a horse. It was a horse. It was funny.
Wow.
And actually, um, the person that was doing the show, the main
Mhm.
star, I don't know his actual correct name. I'm so sorry, but we knew him as Ibizo. That was
Okay.
his, I guess, name before he became who he now is in Kabuki. But his daughter and his son were there. And I know why women are not in Kabuki. I'm going to tell you why. Because they're damn good at it. That's why. Women do everything incredibly well, as we all know. But his daughter's performance was so good. Like,
Mm,
she was. Because, everybody else is dressed up. So basically Kabuki used to have women in it, but now it's only men. And I
right.
think it's because it was a special performance. His two children were able to join. And
Mm,
he has his son and then his daughter. And his
mhm,
daughter joined and she played, a daughter in it. And she was funny.
mm.
She was so good. Her makeup, like beautiful. When I tell you, we were just like in awe.
Wow.
And then after your break, you get a 20-minute break and then the story changes, right? And then the second story, and they have little side stories. It was really good. And then you have like a 30-minute break, and that's where most people eat their bentos or go out to their little restaurants. We actually had really good bentos. Shore picked ours. She had like a yakitori bento, and I had like a mixture of like seafood, and it was really good. I was
Wait, so where do
surprised.
you get the bentos?
So actually in the theater, this is the thing that's crazy. You line up, right? But it doesn't really matter because you get let in, everybody gets let in the same unless you're a super celebrity and you get let in a back entrance or something.
Okay.
And it's a mad rush. And like everything on the internet said, like go get your bento first, rush to
Okay.
get your bento or rush to get your audio. So this show didn't have any English audio, but they had like a, a polite, not a polite, like a simple Japanese audio that I got for sure.
Okay.
So it kind of explained like, okay, the person that's coming out now is so and so for whoever is there. But I didn't really use it. I didn't need that because I kind of knew how kabuki is because I had been there before.
Okay.
She didn't have any idea. So she got that before. And then while she was doing that, I lined up to get the bentos and we moved through really quickly because, we looked at the menu. Okay, we're going to get this, this, and this. And, you go through it and then you bring it with you. You can
Okay.
also make reservations to eat in the restaurant there, but I just thought like 30 minutes is kind of pushing it,
Pushing
like
it.
you have
Okay.
to decide what you want and it has to be, it just seems like a lot to me.
Okay.
But yeah, you just eat your bento at your seat. And this lady next to
Ah.
us, she had bought like an ice cream, like a taiyaki shaped as an ice cream or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
She dropped it on the floor in front of her, the whole thing. And it was so funny because her husband just looked like,
Just like
you know,
I just like
she took one bite and then she dropped the whole thing on the seat on the floor in front of her. And then the ladies were trying to pick it up. And it was just, you have a break to eat. So, that's to be
okay.
expected.
Okay.
But, her son was snoring. There was a family of three of them. It was the husband, the wife, and the son. And the son was seated next to shore. And he was snoring. And I said, please do
Was
not
he
think that's
young?
my child. The son was snoring. Yeah, he wasn't
No, I
young.
mean
He was
was
about Shore's age. Shore's age.
oh okay. So okay. So middle school. Okay.
Yeah, middle school. Maybe he was just bored. He did not want to be there.
He
But
was
let me tell you what
bored, yeah.
he did wake up for the final act, which is like, they had a dance at the end, and I felt like the dance was where I was ready to fall asleep because you just dancing too long. It was just the one main actor dancing and dancing and dancing. And what you really want to see is them whip their hair around.
Yeah.
But I was just like, listen, but this is not Dancing with the
Okay.
Stars. You just let's speed it up a little bit. And he was there, and that boy was like, watching like that was what he was waiting for.
Okay, pulling it.
Um, but it was a great experience. She really enjoyed it. She said she definitely wants to go back.
Okay.
She thought it was so cool, just how they made these jokes. They had this one story with the frog. It was really, really interesting. And I think it's really good to get out there and do those cultural things,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
experience it.
It
I would
is.
definitely say you don't have to be super fancy because we saw some people with like straight up jeans on. And there was a
Okay.
man that was in there that looked like he came from work and maybe his job was construction.
Okay.
I think he washed his face, but I don't think he changed any. Like he literally looked like he just rolled up off of working
Okay.
on the side of the building into
Gotcha.
there.
I'll be
So,
dressing
but
up. Cause
yes, but
that's
we
just
saw
me.
this lady
I
that was
want to be
Gucci'd out.
fancy. I want people to be like,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
what? She's among the poor. Yes, I am.
We
And
saw
to
this
keep things
one lady.
humble.
And Short thought it was like her art teacher or something, but she was like, no, it's not. This lady was Gucci'd out. And I'm not talking about like the Gucci that's obviously Gucci.
Yeah.
It was like she had a velvet green jacket on that when we got close up to her in the line, we saw that it had like the G's in it.
Yeah.
And it was just like she was very au Sade. Like she had the fancy everything, and this is what she does.
Mm.
Um and then we saw some people, that were just like, oh, this is, maybe where they come to go to sleep. Like the man that was sitting across from us. He was knocked out. He was
Not
knocked out.
this is where they come to go to sleep,
This is where he came. I mean,
girl.
his wife was paying attention, but he was dead. You couldn't wake him up he probably got the best sleep of his life there. He was knocked
Not
out. He wasn't snoring, but he was knocked out.
not coming to go to sleep. I'm mad about
Hmm.
it. I'm
Yeah,
mad
that
about
was where he came to go to sleep. It was definitely awesome. I'm glad that I went. It's more space than Kabuki-za, but my knees were still like, girl,
it. Okay.
girl. That's why those breaks really helped. Even if
Help.
I didn't have to go to the bathroom or whatever, I still got up and walked around because my knees were like,
Mm.
it's tight in the front.
Okay. Okay, good
What
to
is new with you though? What is new with you? You got some
girl.
exciting news?
My son turned 16, y'all. Happy birthday, Messiah. He turned 16 yesterday. We had a party. Um,
You
he
did.
hasn't had a party. He actually hasn't had a birthday party since I think he was 10.
Oh,
So it's been
really?
like, yes. So I think it's
Okay.
been actually 6 years since he actually had a birthday party, you know.
But you used
Um,
to do parties all the time.
oh
Like that
girl,
was a
he had a party, I think, every single year except the year
yeah.
he turned 2. And that's because I had just bought my house at the time. And oh my God. I think that was it. I think he literally had a party every single year. I think that was the only year he didn't have a birthday party. And that was the
Mm,
only reason, was because we had just moved.
right.
But other than that, yes, he had literally from age 1, Messiah has always had a birthday party. And then once COVID hit,
Yeah.
because he had a party then, because everything kind of was still going on before, because he's a January
Mhm.
baby, so he
Yeah.
still got that party. um
I think
but
Yui
yeah,
got scammed
after
maybe.
that, from like 11, 12, 13,
Yeah.
14, no. But we would do little things to celebrate, but this was the first year in a while that he had a party, and it was his sweet 16. So had a bunch of kids, y'all. I had a bunch. It's a bunch of kids, and I don't mean like, oh, it's like 10. He had like 20
It
some
was
kids.
yeah, it would look like 20, 30 kids. It was quite a
Yes,
lot.
it was.
There was a
It
lot
was
of
a
faces.
lot. It was a lot of kids, and it was great. It was. It was really great. It was really beautiful. He has a beautiful group of friends around him. It was just. It was just a love fest. So we had plans to do karaoke, and we did do it eventually, but this brings me to one of our topics, and the topic is, I don't know about you know everybody's locales or if it's different,
Yeah.
but I feel as though once kids get to the teen age, or I guess you would call them youth age,
Hmm.
um there's no real spaces for them. Like
Right.
little kids, they have tons of places. They have the Chuck E. Cheeses, they have the indoor playgrounds, they have the family friendly parks, they have all of these things. But once you hit that teen phase around like 11, 12, I
Yeah.
feel like there's literally no space for them,
For
you
them
know?
to go. That's true, yeah. We were just talking about that because I feel like that would be it seems like that would be a very popular thing for someone to come up with, a chain or a franchise or something to
Right.
have where you could go and you wouldn't necessarily need like parental a parent with you,
Yeah,
just someone
supervision. Yeah,
just
you could
yeah,
just go
parental
and hang out
supervision.
with
You
your
could just
friends.
yeah, hang out with your friends. And of course things like they wouldn't have alcohol, but of course it'd be like, video games or
Right.
darts or something that kids would enjoy. That seems like so we were saying like what do kids do from that age until I guess they're old enough to drive, and then even when you're old enough to drive it's literally just like go to the mall, I guess,
Right.
or
Right.
go grab food. I mean, even that seems kind of boring. I remember in Atlanta there's like a painting place that kids can drop in
Mm,
after they're a certain age. But I think that's very specific to like where my family lives in
mm,
that area. So it's like a paint cafe. You could bring your own food, your own snacks, so you could drop in and do painting.
right.
But it's kind of like that's it you can do.
Right.
It's not. Yeah,
Right.
there used
I
to be
feel like,
like
yeah, there's to me anyway. I feel
Mhm.
like yeah, you have like the Y, and you have the
Right,
boys and girls club, but for me it comes off more across as child care,
right,
not actually a space. Like,
yeah,
like you said, it's like I feel like we had arcades and we were on our bike
right.
to hang out at the park. And I feel like, when people complain and they'll say, like, oh, these kids don't go outside, they don't, but I'm like, they
Where do
really
they? Where can they go? Yeah, there's nowhere
they
to
really
go.
don't have a space. Like, and like I said, that especially that demographic, it's like, so what are they supposed to do? It's like they go to the mall, but it's like, you know, you get tired of
Yeah,
going
there's
to the
only so much.
mall.
to do there. Yeah,
Right. You know.
I think that would be a good idea for someone to kind of create, because here we do have Round One here. Kids can go there. We have every single shopping mall has an arcade.
Right.
But also here you can go to like a family restaurant with your friends,
Yes.
So it's very different. You can go in one of those places with like 1,000 yen and eat a meal, with your
Right.
friends, and then go to the game center and spend rest of your
Right.
change.
I was gonna say, yeah, you got like the gotcha places, and
Yeah,
you got,
you have gotcha
you know, the
everywhere.
manga cafes, and you're like, I
Yes.
feel like Japan is good as far as having spaces for
Yeah,
youth, And again,
that
I
is
keep
true.
saying youth because, like I said, people be like, oh well, I'm like, no, I'm like, I can't compare a 5-year-old and a 15-year-old.
Right,
They're
no.
not on the same page. They're the things that are going to interest a child is not going to
Yeah,
interest a teenager.
that's
Like you
true.
got
That's true.
to have spaces to help these kids, one, stay
Do
out of
stuff.
trouble, if
Yeah,
I'm hanging out and doing, arcade
whatever.
games with my kid, that's cool and whatnot. Hey, which is great. We gonna sing a couple
Yeah.
songs at karaoke. We gonna order some
And also
fries.
here, yeah, you can go to karaoke
Right.
like Shirley's with her friends all the time. You don't have to be with a
Right.
parent or have,
Right.
anyone with you. You just go. And even there's one that's a chain. You can bring your own food. So they'll go to McDonald's and get something, or the convenience
And then
store,
bring it over there.
and then
Yeah.
bring it in there and be in there for like 3 hours. And I
Hours.
think
Yes.
they don't even charge. I could be wrong if it's, I don't, I think, yeah, they don't charge you if you're junior high school, and
Mm.
maybe high school. They don't charge you for the room. You just have to get the drink bar.
Right.
So the drink bar is like 500 yen or whatever. So you
Right.
think about that, like that's a perfect place for kids to like, and there's not a parental supervision, but there is a camera in the room so they can
Right.
see, like, if something crazy happens, the
Right.
staff can see. But yeah, it does seem like they do need more places. I know in the summer, usually kids can go to the pools by themselves
Right.
in the States. But
Right.
aside from the pool, that's
Exactly.
it.
That's what I'm saying. So, America, I don't know. You talk to me. Leave me some feedback in the comments because I'd really like to know. Like, I would
Yeah.
really like to know, are there spaces? Can we create these spaces? But then again, I get that it takes money. I get it, and sometimes you don't want these kids unsupervised because,
Right.
everybody ain't raised right.
That's true. That
But
is true. I can see
I
how
blame your mom or
situations
your daddy
happen.
if you
Yeah.
can't go somewhere and act right. That ain't everybody else's fault. That that's the parents' fault, which I could definitely see um homes that are neglectful using spaces like that.
Yeah.
Um and that messes it up for everybody else. But I feel like, but that's why you have like somebody at the desk. You have a manager, like, hey, you
You
can't come
gotta
back.
go.
Da 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 da. Or in
Yeah.
order for them to come in, you gotta, I don't know, show ID, or you have to scan the ID, or you gotta make a
Yeah, yeah.
card, or
Or
you know,
register with a
it's
parent or
gotta be,
something.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
gotta be something like that where there has to be some kind of accountability, I guess. Because like I said, there are badass kids. I don't care what anybody says. Like people, there are like
There
people want
there
to make
are. There are.
excuses and be like, oh, they just no, they're bad. Like
And
I
they're
don't.
not, it's not just in the States. This is
Right,
universal, because yesterday we were
right.
at the Log House, where Cora likes to go play, which is another great place that they have in Japan. These like literal log houses. They're like houses built out of like wood. Inside
Mm.
everything's like wooden, so kids of all ages can run around barefoot and do stuff. And they usually have like arts and crafts, or like a free library, or
Mm.
blocks, or in this one they have like a bird watching guide, which was kind of interesting. You can look out and they tell you the birds and what.
Right.
And we she loves to go there. They have like a rope maze, an underground tunnel, and it's a really nice place to go, and it's free. It's completely free.
Yeah, I
So
love
they also
that.
have a little basketball hoop in there, and the basketball hoop is up high, but it's not a real basketball they're using. It's like a very soft basketball.
Yeah.
They had these kids, when I tell you, these like 5 boys, and they play basketball for real, because they were trying to dunk, and just ignoring all the little kids that were,
Right.
nearby. Like they were doing their own street ball, but
Right.
inside the log
Side the
house.
thing. Right.
And the teachers, well, they're not teachers, but the staff, I guess, they were just like, like real nice, like, kyotsuke, like, and I wanted to be like, sit your,
No,
you know,
I know. Sit your ass. Get
you
your ass
can't be
on.
trying to dunk with these little
Right.
kids around. They're trying to do some LeBron James moves, and
All
there's
right.
like a slew of little kids that they're trying to dunk over.
Right. And see, that's why, like, yeah, I had to stop being a teacher, like, because I was that teacher who would be like, "You don't get your ass over it," and then it got to a point where it's like the parents would be like, "Can't Melinda Sensei, can you tell my son?" I'm like, "You tell your son. Why I gotta tell your son? Grow a backbone. Like,
That
stop
is
letting
that
these
is
kids run
true.
all over you. Like
That
that.
is
That's my
true.
only thing. They will not discipline. And again, it's here too. It's the same thing where like I've definitely seen, you know, me and Yui will be out doing something and see kids just running around and I will my face doesn't hide things. I will look at you like you crazy. Like I will literally look at you, look at your child, look back at you, and be like, so you don't see what I see? Because me and my child see something, but you don't seem to see it. And then they'll kind of like, because I'm judgy when it comes to other parents. I'm sorry. And I don't mean that in a mean way, other parents, but
No.
when y'all don't be parenting, yes, I'm judging you.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I'm
And then
judging.
I usually I will make a face, or you can definitely see it on my face. But also I'm quick to be like, my kids know, oh, we can't do that. Or
Do that exactly. My kids are
they'll be like, that little kid's
quick
doing
to
that. I don't know why they're doing that. They're not supposed to
right.
do
My
that.
quick to say like, oh no. I'm like, and I'll ask them out loud. I was like, do y'all think y'all can do that? They both no, no. I'm like, yeah. I wish you would even think about embarrassing me like that. And I do. I be looking at the parents like, you ain't embarrassed? You think this is cute?
Yeah, I have seen some stuff, and I'm like, or just embarrassing, and just also like hygienic wise that I've seen. That I'm just
Uh,
like, oh no, we don't do that, or just different stuff like I've seen, and I'm just like, no, my kids know. Oh no, we can't
right.
do that.
Cause
Hmm.
so here's also my point with this. It's like, yes, you can. That's your child, and I say
Right,
it all the
right.
time. That's your
Hmm.
child. You handle your child the way you want to handle your child. However, when it
Exactly.
comes to certain situations where now the way you're raising your child is now going to be affecting me and my
Right,
child,
right.
we have a problem. So that's something that like I've always been conscious about with my kids about look, you have private spaces and you have communal spaces. And please understand that a private space and a communal space are very
Are
different. If
very
you want
different.
to
Yeah.
damn fool in your room, if you
Right,
want to look crazy, if you want to go in there and throw stuff or what, you do that because that's your room. That's your
right,
private space.
right, right,
However, when you bring your little tail into this living room is a communal space. It ain't just about you, you
right.
know, and you have to respect the fact that it's not just about you. Same thing when you go to the playground, you go to the log house. Guess what? The log house is a communal space.
Communal
It ain't
space.
just
Yeah.
about you. So we can't be up here LeBroning. You want a LeBron, you better go to that basketball court down the street.
And I mean,
Go to
these
that.
kids were hooping hard, and the staff was just like, they're just too nice about it. And I said I could not work
You
here because
I
y'all would have been snatched up
that's
and
my
outside.
part. That's my thing. I can't like Japan. I love you, but sometimes I need y'all to not be polite. Because let me tell you, it'll especially if you've been in the country for too long
Hmm.
and you come back to someplace like here. Because let me it took me a while to get readjusted because I found that I was doing that when I first came back from Japan. It would
Oh,
be like,
really?
and then I can't remember. I think it was my mother. My mother was like, "Girl, if you don't get your shit together, you're not in Japan no more. These people will walk all over you."
Not you being like,
But you're so used to the culture of doing
mm-hmm,
that. You know,
mm-hmm.
you're in that environment, so you're like, okay, I'm adapting to my environment. And then
Yeah,
once
yeah,
you leave that environment, it's like, oh yeah, I'm not in Japan anymore. Let me,
right.
hit somebody. What the hell you doing? I'm in New York. Like, got my baby in my carrier, like, before I'm like, get your, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, that's flip a switch back on.
Girl, I had to. It took a minute. It did. It took a minute. It took a minute for me to get back and be like, no, I don't live in Japan anymore. What am I doing? What am I
Oh
doing?
my god, that's too funny. That's too. I think I don't really experience that. I think I just feel like everything's noisy, you
Mm,
know. But I kind of welcome it. I miss like people talk. Like oh, this is something that we were talking about recently. In the States, like people will just tell you like, oh my god, I love your outfit, or oh
yes.
girl, your hair, or
Yeah,
just you'll see, you don't even know them, there's no need to have a conversation, you don't need to exchange an IG, nothing, you don't have to be friends, they'll just walk past you and be like, you look so cute,
right.
or where did you get that bag, or something. And I think that's the kind of stuff I miss, like that is kind
Uh,
of, I guess it's noise in a sense, or just people that just tell you like, when you get in the elevator, hey, how's it going? Or it's hot today, or
right.
just stuff
Small
like that,
talk
which it will never happen here.
in Japan.
It will not. You unless you're in the countryside with the obachans.
But
I feel like they're the only people who
even in
talk.
Tokyo, Bacha still gonna say something because
They
they
still
just
talk to you, okay? Because I
they
feel
just
like
be like they old and they don't give a shit at that point. Like
you
they
probably so,
will
probably so.
they will like be talking to you. You just like, oh okay, hey girl, how you doing? Because
I think it is true. I
they
think that is
short
true.
as
The older you
hell.
get, the less you reserved you are, because
Yes.
if you get in an elevator here, or just, I remember I was at a Starbucks and I was waiting for Shore, and I saw these two high school girls that look, I think they were high school ish age range. They look so cute. They were in their little Lolita outfits. They
Mm,
had dolled themselves up and curled their hair.
mm,
And I told them, I said, you guys are so cute. You guys are given. I don't know where you're going or what you're going to
mm.
do, but you're gonna be amazing. And they were just like, oh, like they were so, thank you
Yeah.
so much. But then Short was like, you talk too much. She was like, you don't know them. She was like, you don't know those people. And I said, but I just wanted to tell them. But she was like, this is Japan, not
I
America.
know. I do it myself. Even
But doesn't
sometimes
that make you
when
feel
I
happy? Like if
visit,
you were to see someone and
I
just be like,
I
like,
definitely I know for sure I've definitely complimented somebody while we've
right,
been visiting. But it
mhm,
makes their day. Like they're just like,
right,
oh
right.
my gosh.
So I
You
guess that's the
the
noise in a
foreigner told me
sense
I was cool. Oh, they gonna tell that story for years, y'all.
for
He
you.
gonna be on his deathbed talking about,
Talk
yeah,
about
foreigner told me I was cool
when
and
I
then
was in
he
Asakusa
died.
many moons ago. There was a black woman. She
Woman
came
and
up
she
to me and
told me I was cool.
she said, I
And I
looked
never
amazing.
forgot that.
I never forgot it to this day. I think it was Janet Jackson. It wasn't, but I
I,
feel like it was, or Beyonce,
I
you know, knowing neither one
oh
of
my god!
them. But
Especially when I had my blonde hair. Oh yeah, he's definitely gonna be like, oh yeah,
he was like,
Beyonce
I was
told
sure it
me,
was Beyonce. She didn't tell me her name, but I think it was
but I
Beyonce.
know it was Beyonce. She told me that I had
She
a
said,
cool bag, and I'll never forget it.
I'll
And
never
I
forget that.
still have that bag, and I'm
That
gonna
bag
pass
over
that
there.
down to you, son.
It's over there. Yes, I'm serious. It'd be like that. So I kind of miss, like, I feel like it's not really noise per se, but I feel like that's the kind of stuff in the States that I miss, like just people, just casually chatting, or you could just ask someone in the grocery store, like, hey, is this good? If they're in the same aisle as you, and they
Right.
won't look at you like, why are you talking to me?
Pretty
you
much,
know?
yeah. Pretty much.
But also,
And you
I do make people speak. I do that here. She was
yeah.
telling me that she saw our neighbors. We live in a very small building, but she said she's pretty sure she saw the neighbor go into the building, and then they let the door close. They saw her, but they let the door close so that she had to take her key out and do the auto lock again. And then she, like, when she came in, it was like they hurried up and ran into their room and closed the door. And I said, "This is your first time experiencing that? How many times have I experienced that in the history
So
of
many.
living in this country?"
So
But
many.
I don't know if it's the same people, but yesterday when we were headed outside,
Yeah.
there was this couple that I guess they were stretching to go jog,
Yeah.
and I looked at them and I said, "Konnichiwa," make sure, and they acknowledged me, because I'm gonna call
Right.
you out.
Right.
I know you can see me,
Right.
so
Right.
we're gonna
That.
exchange pleasantries at the minimum.
Right.
Konnichiwa, yo. Ii tenki desu ne. Okay, have fun with your run. Like, but she was a little bit like shocked, like, did they hide from me? I was like, they may have or
Yeah.
not. Don't lose any
Yeah.
sleep over
They,
it.
although you know what I can say, I've done that here. So
Oh, really?
not so much with neighbors, but like sometimes like on the elevator, I can see. But I'm like, ooh, hit that button, hit that button. Now I'm like, I don't know you. Hit the button. Sorry. Like,
Did you close?
and the
Let it
doors
close.
closed. Sorry.
Not sorry. Oh,
Yeah, I've definitely done that. But you know what? I feel like it's all part of the culture. It's all part of the culture.
mm,
And in saying it's all part of the culture, once again, happy Black History Month, y'all.
yes,
Black,
yes.
black,
Black
black,
on black
black.
on black on black.
Yes,
Already, it's black. We're gonna be extra blackety blackety black.
yes. And as always, y'all, Black History Month is we commemorate it. It's also the 100th year of
Oh
Black History
wow!
Month.
I did
Yes.
not know that.
Yeah, so Black History Month started out with Carter G. Wilson, where it was Negro History Month, and then with
Yes, I knew that.
Congress, and it became a acknowledgement for a whole month in February. But of course, Black History Month is world history. I won't even just say American history. It is world history, and we celebrate every day and all day. But I do challenge you folks, learn some history.
Yeah,
Read
for
a book.
sure.
Um, donate some money to Black people.
Yeah,
Reparations. Come on, do something. Do do
definitely.
something.
There's a lot. I think even
Do
just
something.
spreading education, because
Yeah.
that's something that has been, we've seen changes in the past year, and
Mm,
continually in education. So I definitely think education is just how people continue to not make the same mistakes. I guess I was talking about this with my dad, about how, like, just segregation and Jim Crow laws were not that long ago, and people
no,
have already
not
forgotten.
at
Like,
all.
I was like, it really
Not
was
at
not
all.
that. It was literally like yesterday.
Yeah, but they'll
Um,
pretend that it was so long ago, but it
yeah,
really
and that's
was.
the thing.
Because I'm like, really? I was like, because my grandma's right here.
Yes, that's why I said, like,
She-
I have
she-
family members that lived through that,
yeah,
and
she's
then
literally right here.
and he was like, even saying, well, just think about how people feel about, like, the Holocaust.
Mm,
People of his age, they
mm,
feel like it really wasn't that long ago because they
right,
remember it, or
right,
he didn't live through it, but that's
right,
something that he learned. And there's still people that are alive that survived. And so we had
right,
gotten this deep conversation, and I said, oh, it was going down a dark slide. And I was like, yeah, we don't want to forget. And so I
right.
think the challenge that I have done is, I've started to work on, is really like informing my kids, because
Mm,
I feel like that's something they don't learn,
right,
Black History Month, because they don't celebrate it here. But
right.
also, I think they just don't know, like, there's so much history that's
Yeah.
world history, like you said, even here in Japan with, like, Black samurais and things of that nature, that people don't know unless you go out and seek that
Seek it.
knowledge.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely challenge you to read something, learn something, Google
Right.
something.
I was gonna say, and challenge yourself, folks, like one thing a day. Just one.
Yep.
Find one fact. That's all you need. Just one
Yeah.
fact a day, and try to
And then
make.
when you find that, tell 5 people.
I was gonna say, spread it,
Mm.
y'all.
Tell
Post
five
it.
people.
Talk to your neighbor. Talk to the mailman.
Yeah. Tell
Talk.
somebody, hey,
Hey,
did
did
you
you know?
know? You know
Did
what I
you
found? I
know?
was today years old when I found out
Right. Exactly.
whatever. Tell someone else, email your parents, and that's a good way to also stay in touch with people. Even if you email someone or you call someone and you tell them the fact that you learned, for a 5-10 minute conversation or text them or whatever, they may be like, this is so random, but I've really found a lot of amazing knowledge by stuff that other people have told me, and then I've went back and fact checked it, or I've done, like, I was like, I didn't know that.
Right.
Let
Right.
me go search, you know?
Right.
You'll be down a rabbit hole of knowledge, and it's really something. I literally had that happen to me last week. My coworker was talking about, um, she had went down this dark rabbit hole about
Sisters
the
going down the
Holocaust and
dark rabbit holes.
on the World War II. But there was
Uh-huh.
something that she had talked about, like Goebbels, and then I had did some. She had brought it up, and somehow we got on the topic of it, and I looked it up, and I was sure that he was hung or that he was captured.
Uh-huh.
When they were doing the Nuremberg right
Right.
trials.
Right.
This man escaped and was living in
Brazil, right?
Brazil
Or
or some, yes,
somewhere in South
someplace.
America.
I said, and until like some crazy time, like 1969 or 1970, like some abnormal recent time that I could not. I said, how did I miss this in school? And I'm angry about it. And then he drowned. He drowned. Like, that's what, conspiracy tin hat. But I was so, and I had to call someone. I think I called my dad. I think I had talked to somebody else, because I said I did not know this, and I'm very upset about this information.
Right?
You know, so you learn something new. There's so much history out there for Black
Yeah.
History Month, so definitely challenge yourself, and you will be surprised. Black people have been and will continue to be in every part of the world.
Always.
Every corner you go to, there's a Black person there from somewhere.
Always,
They may not be an American, but there's always a Black person there,
be there.
or a person of Black origin. They may not look Black,
Happen.
but they have Black origins. Uh, you know, or they're everywhere in the
Yeah.
world. So I tell my kids that. But yeah, just try to challenge yourself for sure.
Agree. I agree, you guys. I
So
agree.
what
And
has
on
sparked
that
your
note,
joy? Your joy, your
yes,
joy.
this is
Your
our Okazu.
Yay.
My joy this week was I had a great time celebrating my son's birthday, like I was telling you guys about. But we had an excellent experience at a local restaurant, Don Kuko's.
Oh
They got
yes.
three locations: Burbank, Toluca Lake, and Simi Valley. And we went, had dinner on Friday, and the experience was like, something was off, and I definitely spoke out about it. And when I tell y'all, customer service, this is what will always keep you in business if you are an entrepreneur. Good
Yeah.
customer service. I say this because I also work in customer service, and I understand that as long as you keep people in them seats on that plane, you'll get paid. So the restaurant was like, hey, why don't you come back? Let's have a redo. Let's redo this. Would you allow us to redo it? When I tell y'all, phenomenal.
Yay.
Again, I listed 3 locations. I can't say that enough. And it really just, again, hit home about having customer service when you're an entrepreneur and taking
Yeah.
care of people, because word of mouth travels quickly. So
It does. It does. It travels fast.
we
And I
enjoy it.
think also that it's a part of community too.
Yes.
Definitely they want you to come back and, patronize them again and be there again, and they want to keep their community strong.
Yes.
So not sponsored, but yeah,
Not
that's
sponsored,
great.
not even sponsored. I'm just telling
Yeah.
you, if you have 3 locations. Again, Don Kuko's, either in Burbank, California, Toluca Lake, or Simi Valley. We're all in the valley. You got 3 locations. Please support these people, because when I tell you, they gave, not only are you eating amazing Mexican food,
Yeah.
beautiful ambiance, like the
Mhm.
ambiance is just great. But when I tell you service, and they take pride in what they do, that's who you want to give your money to. That's who you
Right, exactly. In this
so
economy.
yes. What about you, Kelsey? What brought you
You know,
joy?
I would have to say, I just enjoyed having beautiful weather yesterday. It was super
Mm,
sunny,
yes.
super nice. It was still cold, But normally I wouldn't want to be outside that much, but I went outside with Coral. She rode her scooter. We went to the log house.
Mhm.
And I really think what brought me joy is just, I have these places I can go with
Mm.
my child. Now, this is a young child. She's 6, so it's very different from what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
But I have these places that I can go with her, and it was free. You just have fun and chill, and they had signs everywhere. Don't be on your smartphone. Don't be on your smartphone. And I really appreciated that too, because it is really like you are enjoying analog time with your
Yeah.
kid. It's free.
Yeah.
We did some origami. We colored some pictures. So I think that really just brought me joy. And I think in that, and also combining that with seeing Masaya turn 16, it
Mm.
really just brought it together. Like, we don't have that much time with our kids,
Right. Right.
so I'm going to enjoy every day, every time that I get, even when I may want to be inside watching Netflix under a blanket.
Right.
It's those memories that you make that stick with them, those core memories.
I agree. I agree. I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Being present, especially like as a parent being present,
Yes.
and you've heard me say this so many times, that the days are long, but the years are short. Like you will
Yes.
look up and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, my kid is literally on the cusp of being an adult. Like it does
Right.
go by so quickly. She's absolutely
Yeah.
right. So for those of you parents out there, especially my young parents, if I can tell you anything, just be present with your kids. That's all they want is your time. Be present with your kids because it's going to go by like this. Literally.
Yes, yes. I think there was it was either a meme or something I saw where it said everybody did something for the last time, but you didn't know it was the last time. Like you burned a CD for the last time, you didn't realize it was going to be your last CD burning,
Yeah.
or went outside, met your friends, with your bikes, and you didn't realize it. And I think it's the same for kids. It's like you didn't realize that was going to be the last time your kid was going to ask you to pick them up or carry them, or it was going to be the last time that it would be like, let's play together, or so definitely be present,
Yeah.
because those days will fly
Bye
by.
bye. You're absolutely right. Aw.
Mhm.
Well, on that note, you guys, that is the show this week. Yay! We thank you so
Yay.
very much for tuning
Yes.
in. We thank you so much for liking. We thank you so very much for subscribing, and really thank you for sharing, letting people
Yes.
know we will be here every week, you guys. And until then, we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Stay safe.
Bye, you guys. Happy Black History Month.
Yes.